Power supply units, whether to scrap them out or just sell them as they are. Well, depending on the time that you are prepared to put into them, and how you value your time, I guess, well, no doubt that if you scrap them out, you're going to get some more value out of them, although they're very time consuming to scrap out, very fiddly to get all the little bits out, a bit of copper and transformers and aluminium and some extra wire. It just really depends on whether, how many PSUs you get and how much time you've got. One thing I've mentioned is that if you don't get a constant flow of scrap and there are times where you've got nothing to do, well, then you're probably better off saving your power supply units and scrapping them out when you've got absolutely nothing to do. You are going to get more value than you're going to sell them. At the moment, power supply units are only selling for 20 cents a kilo or 10 cents a pound in the US. So at 10 cents a pound, I mean, it's not very good, but it's mostly because scrap steel is so low at the moment. But it's still something, and if you scrap them out, well, no doubt you're going to get some more value. So what I'm going to do is, usually there's two types of power supply units that I find. It's the ones that are quite heavy, like this one here. Usually they're switching power supplies, so they've got little switches on them, and they're reasonably heavy. And other ones without the switches can be very, very light. So I just sort of like, not that I categorize them or, I mix them all in together, but there are heavy and there are light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap out, or I'll weigh up two of them, one light one heavy one, see how much they're worth, just selling them as they are with the wires cut off, and then scrap them out completely, weigh up the bits that we get out of it, and see how much more we get out of them. But like I said, it's so all right, well, I'll scrap a couple out and we'll see how we go. Okay, so here we've got our two power supplies to test out. So the first one is a non-switching power supply, and so it's a very light one. So I'll just whack that on the scales at 20 cents a kilo. There's 755 grams and it comes up as 15 cents. So to sell this power supply unit to a scrap buyer as a power supply unit, 10 cents a pound or 20 cents a kilo, you're getting 15 cents for these light ones. Obviously they all weigh differently, so we're just getting an example. And then we've got a switching one, a nice heavy one. It's actually got two fans. It's a pretty good brand one. This one weighs 1.74 kilos. So at 20 cents a kilo, it's 35 cents. Okay, so that's it. So the difference between these two, this one here, if you sell it as it is, all we've done is we've just cut the wires off, 15 cents. This one, 35 cents. As power supplies. Now we'll open them both up. We'll weigh out what we get out of them the best we can, and we'll see how we go from there. Okay, so I've just opened up the two power supply units, taken off the steel casings and stuff like that, and just left all the things that we can start picking out of. So this is the light one, and so as you can see, it's not a very compact circuit board. You got your little transformer there, some copper spools, you got wire, not much aluminium, and so that's why these are so heavy. They're not very heavily populated, and one fan. And this other one was two fans, and you can see here it's a lot more populated. We've got much larger aluminium heat sinks, got a much larger transformer. Even pretty much all the components are bigger. We've got an extra board here with a nice big chunky copper spool, and so yeah, so now all I'll do is I'm going to I'll scrap this one out, and I'll get the weights of everything if you know, that's if things do register, and I'll probably get better weights off this, be able to tell what we can get from it. Okay, so this one is the light power supply, the first one that we've done, and so what we've got left is a bunch of steel, a scrapped out circuit board that we've just about taken everything that we want out of it. There's really nothing else of interest to me on it, you know, yeah, so the rest of this will just go as scrap steel, along with some of the capacitors that came off and the actual steel. And so we've got these transformers and take that out, transformers and motors, and got obviously the motor from the fan, and we've got these copper coils. Now, you know, you can break these coils up and get a little bit more value by, you know, getting the copper out, but it's only a little bit extra value with these ones because you got quite a bit of ferrite. Yeah, so that's the transformers. Only got a little bit of insulated wire, and got a very little bit of copper wire that barely registered on the scales. So that's from a couple of the spools that I took off. So the wire and just some regular sheet aluminium. This one isn't extruded, and also got a couple of little IC chips that, you know, they're so light you can't really put a value on them. But anyway, so that's it. So a bit of copper wire, aluminium, some motors and transformers, and scrap steel. This one took me, this was pretty quick to scrap. It was only about 5 minutes or so. So when we started off, just to sell it at 10 cents a pound or 20 cents a kilo, it was 15 cents. And here's the little breakdown. So that bit of copper there, it was only 2 cents, just 3 cents of aluminium, 4 cents of wire, 9 cents for the transformers, and 3 cents for the steel. So in total, after scrapping it, we got 21 cents for it, from 15 cents to 21 cents. So we made an extra 6 cents by spending about 5 or so minutes on that. So bit average. And then we got the second, the power supply with the switching type. They're a lot heavier. So here we've got the scrap steel that we've got left over, the scrapped out boards, just pretty much junk on that. So that just goes as scrap steel. We've got quite a few more transformers, a couple of motors from the 2 fans, a lot bigger copper coils. You know, these 2 real big ones, or these 3. You know, you could, again, you could take out the copper off this and probably get a little bit more value, but we'll just, I'm just valuing them at selling them as transformers and motors. We've got some bit more insulated wire, a little bit heavier wire, a little bit of copper from the little coils, and a couple of pieces of extruded aluminium. So with the extruded aluminium, we get a little bit more. These are $1.30 a kilo at the moment. The regular aluminium is only $1. So okay, so we got quite a bit more, obviously being a lot heavier transformer. So the second one that we did, this one was we were getting 35 cents just selling it as is. We got 6 cents of copper, 20 cents of extruded aluminium, 12 cents of wire, 26 cents in the transformers and motors, and steel, we got a kilo of it, so we got 5 cents. Okay, so in total we got 69 cents from this power supply. Started off, if we didn't do anything, we would have got 35 cents anyway, so we got an extra 34 cents. So we've just about doubled our value from this switching transformer. Now this one was quite a heavy one, and it was a good quality one. So it had 2 fans. Normally they've only got 1 fan, so you'd have 1 less motor. And yeah, so but we did get twice as much value out of the second power supply unit, and so we added 34 cents to the value. Although the first one only took 5 minutes, this second one probably took 10 to 15 minutes to scrap because yeah, so that's it. That's a breakdown of two different power supply units. The very light ones, not a lot of value in them from the start. You get a little bit more if you spend a little time scrapping them, but not much. About 50% more. Or actually, well, we got 6 cents, only about 35% more by scrapping it out. And this one we've gotten double our money by scrapping it out. So that's it. All right, well, keep scrapping, guys. Have fun. I'll catch you next time, eh?